Hello dear students, welcome once again to our channel Maths in Minutes with Priya. Today we are going to learn average part 2, clip number 127. In part 1 we have learnt few shortcut tricks, and today also we are going to learn few shortcut tricks to apply to topic average that makes the topic very easy and we can solve all the problems in few seconds. So just in 1 minute let's revise what we have learned in part 1 and then we will begin part 2. These are the tricks that we learned in part 1. Average of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 upon 2. Average of first n even numbers is n plus 1. Average of first n odd numbers is n. Average of equidistant or consecutive numbers is first number plus last number divided by 2. In first part we solved the problems based on these tricks. And even if the problem looks tedious and we think it may take at least 5 minutes to solve, but with help of these tricks or this formula you can solve the problem in few seconds. So if you haven't yet watched part 1, please watch it. Now let's begin part 2. Calculate average of squares of first 30 natural numbers. This question can be also asked in this type of language. Calculate average of squares of natural numbers from 1 to 30. Meaning is same and we have a straight formula for it. Average of squares of first n natural numbers is n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 upon 6. Please make use of this formula, otherwise calculating average of squares will take at least 15 minutes. From 1 to 30, if you need squares, it will be 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36 and so on till 900. Square of 30 is 900. So if you add all those numbers and divide by 30, it will take minimum 15 minutes. So don't go by that route, just apply this formula. So in place of n, now we will substitute 30. Here also you can save your time by guessing the answer. See, if the given answer options are like this, 600, 200, 300 and 400, then what we can do? We can calculate one approximate answer. Like here it is 31 into 61 upon 6. So I can, since this is 6, I'll substitute 31 by 30. So I'll write 30 into 61 upon 6 and then I get the answer 305. But it is not 30, it is 31. That means my answer is going to be just slightly more than 305. So among these four, the closest answer is going to be C. So my answer is C. So instead of actually calculating and spend few seconds, you can just guess your answer as C. But if one of the option is none of these, then you need to calculate the actual answer. Or if all these four options are very close to each other, like this is 318, this is 317, this is 315, then in that case you must calculate the actual value. Otherwise, if these options are far away from each other, you can just guess your answer and save few seconds. Next example. Find the average of cubes of numbers from 1 to 15. Here also there is a straight formula. Average of cubes of first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 bracket square upon 4. So I'll substitute n by 15. In place of n, I'll write 15. So 15 into 16 square upon 4, very easy calculation. You get the answer 960. If you actually find the cubes and then find the answer, it will be a long procedure. What are cubes here from 1 to 15? It will be 1 cube, that is 1, 2 cube that is 8, 3 cube 27, 4 cube 64 and so on up to 15 you will have to go. Then again add all those cubes and divide by 15. It is going to be a long procedure. Instead of that, just use this formula. Before solving next example, now what we will do, first we will understand few properties of consecutive numbers average. If you understand those properties, then solving problems based on consecutive numbers become very easy. Let's consider any set of consecutive numbers. Say I have considered here 7 consecutive numbers. Any consecutive numbers you can consider. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. These are 7 consecutive numbers. Consecutive means the difference between them is 1. एक के पीछे एक आने वाले. They are consecutive. What is the middle number? Out of these 7 numbers, middle number is 19. Correct? Middle number is 19. And that is going to be average of all these 7 numbers. But remember one thing, these are odd numbers, 7, odd. And that's why we get the middle number. 3 either, and this is the middle number 19. So average of 7 numbers is 19. So what will be their sum? Their total will be 19 into 7, that is 133. But when this total number of elements are even, then what happens? Now let's see that. Now instead of odd number of elements, let's consider even number of elements. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Number of elements is 6, that is even. So here you do not get any middle number. 3 idhar, middle mein kuch nahi. So don't get middle number. But what you get middle 2 numbers, 18 and 19. Both are middle. And what is their average? Their average is 18.5. 18 and 19. Their average is 18.5. And this becomes average of all 6 numbers. Remember this. So when for consecutive numbers, if the number of elements is odd, then the middle element becomes average. But if number of elements is even, then the mean or the average of middle 2 numbers becomes the average. Got this point? Now let's solve examples based on this principle. Now always remember, average multiplied by total number of elements will be the sum. So if 18.5 is the average and total number of elements is 6, so 18.5 into 6, 111 will be the sum. So remember this in case of odd numbers and even number of elements. If number of elements is odd, then for consecutive numbers, middle number is average. And if number of elements is even, then for consecutive numbers, average is mean of middle 2 numbers. Now let's solve examples. 8 consecutive numbers are given. If the average of 2 numbers that appear in the middle is 98.5, then what will be the sum of 8 numbers? Or the question can also be like this: what is the difference between first and 8th number? Since these are consecutive 8 numbers, what we can do? The basic method that we have learnt in school, or if you are right now in school and your teacher has taught you this method, since these are 8 numbers, the numbers can be x, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4, like this. And that way you can find the answer. That is also the best method. But for competitive exams, you must save time. So that's why I'm going to show you this shortcut. After this shortcut, I'll also show you the basic method, because if you are in school, you must know the basic method also. But first, I'm going to show you this shortcut, how you can save your time. See here now. These are 8 consecutive numbers. That means total number of elements is even. And the average of middle 2 numbers is given to us is 98.5. What we just learnt? If the total number of elements is even in consecutive numbers, then the average of middle two numbers is the average of all numbers. So basically this 98.5 is average of all 8 numbers. So what will be their sum? We need to find the sum. Sum will be 98.5 into 8, that is 788. We don't need to assume any x plus 1, x plus 2. We don't need that. If you are not in school, if you are appearing for competitive exams, then we don't need that procedure. We can directly answer 98.5 into 8 is 788. Now one more thing. If the question is like this, what is the difference between first and eighth number? Imagine this. The average of middle two numbers is 98.5. That means these two numbers must be 98 and 99. Only then their average is going to be 98.5, correct? So the middle two numbers are 98 and 99. So what will be other numbers? 97, 96, 95 here. 100, 101, 102 here. So these will be total 8 numbers. If middle two numbers are 98 and 99 and these are 8 consecutive numbers, so we can just write numbers like this. And what will be the difference between first and eighth number? It will be 7. They can ask you anything. What is the second last number? What is the third number? The question can be anything. But once you get these numbers by your common sense, you can easily answer the question. Now this was a shortcut trick. In school you have learnt it in different way. Now let's see the way you solve it, this question in schools. Now let's learn the school method. In school we have learned this manner. If there are 8 consecutive numbers, then we start with x. X, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4, x plus 5, x plus 6 and x plus 7. These will be 8 consecutive numbers. The middle two numbers will be x plus 3 and x plus 4. 3 इधर जाएंगे, 3 इसके आगे. And middle two numbers will be x plus 3 and x plus 4. What are we given? We are given average of middle two numbers. So add them and divide by 2. 98.5 is the average that is given to us. When we solve, we get x as 95. So the numbers become x, x plus 1, x plus 2 like this. 95, 96, 97 up to 102. Once we get these 8 numbers, we can answer any type of question. Like what is sum of these numbers? Or what is the difference between first and eighth? Or what is the third number? Any type of question we can answer once we get these 8 numbers. A few minutes back I showed you a procedure that saves your time, because for competitive exams you must save your time. But suppose you forget those principles, then you can apply this school method also. This is also not very lengthy. You can easily solve the problems. In next part also we are going to learn few shortcut tricks and also basic school methods of solving average problems. Till now in this channel I have covered many topics if you are watching it regularly, like time and work, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, ratio proportion, percentage. Many topics I have already covered, and I have covered all basic topics also, like divisibility, factorization, HCF-LCM. It's very much necessary that you revise those topics for fraction calculation and saving your overall time in exam. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel Maths in Minutes with Priya, please do so. It's absolutely free. So see you in the next part soon. Till then, stay happy, stay blessed. Bye for today.